Hey, Bill, any words? Why the money guy? Bill, you messed up the money, right?
A lack of real planning. He should have had a tune-up fight first and then go into a fight with a guy like Romero. But, you know, these fighters and the promoters get turned by the money.
Rolly, which means they were trying all that they could to give Ryan the fight, but Ryan tried so little, threw barely any punches, that they couldn't even rob Rolly. But you could see they were trying to rob Rolly.
When questioned about Ryan Garcia's unexpected defeat by Rolly Romero in a live interview, Bill Haney couldn't contain his laughter. Shortly after the altercation, Devin Haney's vocal father posted a daring message on Twitter mocking Ryan and his crew. Kudos for a memorable boxing match 3-0 to Devin, Rolly, and Teao. In other news, Haney's tweet created a lot of attention over Oscar De La Hoya's promotional choices during the Ryan Garcia versus Rolly Romero fight, and I'm still really perplexed as to why Ryan hasn't fired De La Hoya for putting him in the ring and not using any performance-enhancing drugs against Rolly. At Ryan's performance, Devin Haney and his father, Bill Haney, were seen on video giggling.
Hey, Ryan, they canceled the face-off. They canceled the face-off.
Garcia's choice to face Rolly Romero right away after a protracted break was challenged by Bob Arum. Ryan ought to have had a tune-up battle. Beforehand, he claimed. Arum claims that instead of making wise professional decisions, boxers like Ryan and their promoters frequently pursue financial gain, which eventually results in subpar performances in the ring.
A lack of real planning. He should have had a tune-up fight first and then go into a fight with a guy like Romero. But, you know, these fighters and the promoters get turned by the money, and they don't make really good decisions. A good decision would have been to take a tune-up fight and then, you know, then you move to a Romero or even a Haney or so forth. You don't go right in after a year. You know, look at Haney. Haney looked terrible with Ramirez because he hadn't fought in a year.
Boxing icon Mike Tyson sat next to Derek Chisora after Ryan Garcia's shocking loss to Rolly Romero. Both of them were reacting to the performance, and Derek wasn't holding back when he claimed that Ryan didn't appear to be training at all.
We are live, Derek Chisora.
What's up, motherfuckers?
What did you think of that? You and Aaron, Mike, on the tear-up.
Great show.
Mike, what did you make of it tonight?
Great night.
What did you think of Ryan losing, mate?
What did you think of Ryan losing?
He didn't. You know what? It took a year out. It didn't look like he was training. Ryan didn't train for that fight.
You don't think so? Why?
I don't think so. Ryan didn't train. He didn't train for that fight.
No, but what did you think of Devin, out of curiosity?
Devin boxing unbelievable, bro.
You have to give Rolly the credit though for the Ryan win.
Devin boxing unbelievable.
You have to give Rolly the credit though, Derek, don't you?
Fuck you guys.
What are you saying after this?
Surprise boxing, in an article that went viral on social media, Crawford stated, "I told Shakur Stevenson before the fight that Rolly was going to win." After Garcia's dismal performance, this declaration from one of the sport's most reputable brains gave Rolly Romero's triumph more weight. The elephant in the room was too big for both performance attendees and pundits to ignore. Once only, a rumor, many started to publicly acknowledge that Garcia may have taken performance-enhancing drugs, PEDs, to defeat Devin Haney. Critics say the truth was evident now that he fought clean and had such a lackluster performance.
Devin Haney, I thought it was a little bit of PTSD, you know, with after the Ryan Garcia fight last year, you know, the whole steroids thing with Ryan Garcia and taking the big shots he took. Very, very safety first fight. If I have to compare it, I know some of you guys don't like it, then I compare myself to my style with Devin Haney, my boxing style with Devin Haney. I think we're very similar as fighters, except I had bad hands. He didn't. From there, you know, you get that. With Rolly Romero and Ryan Garcia, first of all, congrats to Rolly Romero, because he was coming in with no momentum. I mean, he had lost the Pitbull Cruz. He'd won the title at 140 against Ismael Barroso in a very controversial fashion when Tony Weeks stopped that fight too early in his favor. So, you know, Romero had been coming in with no momentum really, and he was chosen sort of as a you know, sort of a dead duck sacrificial lamb for Ryan's return, you know. There was that footage online though with that sparring, and there was a little bit of footage there, and it gave you a little bit of curiosity, right? But you're thinking, all right, you know, that was many years ago, who knows what happens now. I tell you what, there must be some PTSD there as well, because once Rolly dropped Ryan stopped trying. Ryan stopped trying, and that's the biggest criticism there. It's, are you a Hollywood fighter? You know, why didn't you even go for it? Because at the end of the fight, although the fight was very one-sided, two schmuck judges actually had the fight within 3 points for Ryan Garcia, 115-112 for Rolly, which means they were trying all that they could to give Ryan the fight, but Ryan tried so little, threw barely any punches, that they couldn't even rob Rolly. But you could see they were trying to rob Rolly, and that's disgusting.
Following the bout, British welterweight contender Conor Benn expressed his dissatisfaction with Garcia's performance. Benn expressed disappointment with the performance and that he would like to see Garcia and Dion Haney rematch.
That's a very disappointing performance. Yeah, it was terrible.
You still want to get in there with him next time?
Nah, thank you. Not interested. Thank you.
What's the conversations been like about the rematch, Con?
Huh?
What's the conversations been about the rematch with Turkey?
I mean, as far as I'm aware, it's locked in for September. So,
how have you found this whole new, like, your stocks rose? Obviously, a lot of people
yeah,
over here
I
are
mean,
interested.
listen, it's all just noise, you know. One day they love you, next they hate you, then they love you again, you know. So I just want to get back in there and secure the W. That's all it matters to me.
When you had that moment with Terence Crawford, what did he say to you?
I can't remember.
Teofimo Lopez brought attention on Rolly Romero's accomplishments rather than Garcia's shortcomings. He commended Rolly for maintaining his composure, hearing his side, and following the strategy. Lopez said he was pleased to see Rolly win and that Romero performed well because he battled shrewdly and controlled his emotions.
You know, in the main event,
Absolutely.
Rolly pulled it off. He said he would. He said, you know, people would be surprised, but he knew what he was going to do. What do you think about his performance?
No, I'm very happy for Rolly. You know, sad short shot for Ryan Garcia, but hey, look, you know, don't overlook anybody. And you know, I think Rolly had a great game plan. He listened to his team very well. You know, and before he went to the event, my father told him, just keep your right hand up the whole night. You know, and that's it. You'll win the fight, and he did that. And he looked great.
You saw what Devin did in the other fight.
Floyd. Mayweather Sr., who is renowned for his direct opinions and astute boxing sense, was silent when questioned about the Garcia versus Romero match. His quiet garnered notice on its own.
Your thoughts on Rolly Romero beating Ryan Garcia?
Oh,
Do you think that the decision was right?
what?
Rolly Romero, the win.
Pop was into the fight. Low action.
Well, that's what he thinks about that fight. It put him to sleep.
Ryan Garcia spoke briefly but passionately after the battle, saying, "I'm really disappointed in the way I fought tonight. It was a bad night for me," he freely acknowledged. The statement was direct and honest, admitting the lack of effort and spirit displayed throughout the fight and offering no justifications for the poor performance. It appeared from Garcia's own statements that he was aware of how much he had disappointed his supporters and himself.
It wasn't a good night for me. It was a pretty off night. You know, Rolly did what he does. You know, took a lot of good power shots, caught me in the second round. But just even in the start of the fight, it just didn't feel like my feet were under me, like I had anything. But you know, I tried to fight through it, and just found myself very off after the year layoff. You know, that whole year, you know, it was a lot for me mentally, as you guys know. So the fact that I got here is, and I'm in the position I am, my mind is as clear as it is a victory for me, I would say. But I'm extremely disappointed in the way I fought.
Shannon Briggs, a former heavyweight champion, was not shy about expressing his opinions. He criticized every fight on the event, calling them all awful. Ryan's fight, which was aimed at Garcia's fight, was awful. Briggs responded, "No punches, no trying anything."
Yeah, it was, the fight was long, no knockouts. They were scared to fight.
We need heavyweights as part of this show.
They need punches. They need punches. Turkey needs punches. This ain't nothing. They wasted a lot of time coming to New York just to play around in the street.
What did you make of Ryan Garcia?
They all are horrible. All of them suck. The whole card. All of them can't fight. Everybody was scared of each other.
His loss to Rolando "Rolly" Romero, Ryan Garcia faced a wave of online backlash and harsh scrutiny. The Popular Combat sports account Happy Punch tweeted, "Ryan Garcia beat by Rolly. I guess we saw what he looked like without PEDs tonight," echoing a sentiment shared by many skeptical fans. Memes and criticism flooded social media, casting doubt on Garcia's past performances and suggesting that his meteoric rise may have been fueled by performance-enhancing substances. The defeat clearly hit Garcia hard. He was caught on video, crying in a car shortly after the fight, a clip that quickly went viral. The footage, shared by an ex-user of the 505 Way, was widely circulated, showing just how emotionally devastating the loss had been for him. Promoter Eddie Hearn also weighed in, expressing concern for Garcia beyond the boxing ring. "If something bad is going to happen, he needs help," Hearn said.
I mean, I saw some stuff tonight. I can't believe what I'm seeing. What the f*** are you doing? Honestly, something bad is going to happen if someone don't get hold of Ryan Garcia. I keep saying it, and you may play these clips back when something bad happens. Like, it's just a car crash. Just say he just needs help. He needs help real bad. I hope he can get it.
Pointing to issues that may extend beyond sport. His comments weren't about Garcia's technique or physical preparation, but hinted at deeper struggles, possibly tied to mental health. As the dust settles from the loss, many are wondering what's next for Garcia, not just as a fighter, but as a young man facing immense pressure.
How did you think Ryan looked out there, man?
Little gun shy, that year off.
What do you
all
think?
That power from Rollies, but he'll be back to the drawing board, and
how devastating?
He'll live to see another day. That's it.
How devastating of a loss is this for Ryan, man?
Not devastating at all. Win 12 rounds. He knows he's way better than that. He knows what he has to do. So,
do you think the Devin Haney fight probably off the table? Do you think that, or
it'll be back. It has to happen.
How do you think Devin looked out there, man?
Gun shy.
He's strong, he has good left hook, and one time he opened up, I cracked him and he didn't open up at all the rest of the fight. They're always going to underrate me because I'm not one of these prospects that started boxing and had a following and all of a sudden they're fresh out the amateurs, they promoted them like, oh, this is the next big thing, yada, 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 all that stuff. At the end of it, I've done this 3 times. Three different divisions. I'm a 3-time world champion, and this might actually be the biggest, the most attended fight card in boxing history.